Manual work slows teams down. Automation is no longer optional. But what if you could find a cheat code to connect any tool, automate any process, and build powerful AI agents, all without being a master coder? In this explainer, you'll clearly understand what n8n is, why it matters, and how it works in real-world automation systems. Breaking down real systems, this is AI Tech Cheat Code. Okay, let's dive into this.
So here's the game plan. First, we're going to talk about the big problem that makes a tool like n8n so necessary. Then, we'll pull back the curtain on n8n itself. From there, we'll get into the nuts and bolts of how it actually works, check out some killer real-world examples, and finally, I'm going to give you the inside scoop so you can skip the beginner mistakes.
So, the crucial point here is understanding the problem we're actually trying to solve. What's really slowing your team, or maybe even just your personal productivity down?
Well, when you really dig into it, it almost always comes down to a few core issues. These little friction points that just create a constant drag on getting things done.
You know the drill, right? Your tools just don't talk to each other, so you're stuck in this endless loop of copy-pasting. Data gets trapped in one app when you desperately need it in another. And hey, maybe you've tried writing your own scripts, but they're fragile, a total pain to maintain, and they break if someone even looks at them funny. This right here, this is the manual work bottleneck.
All right, now that we've all felt the pain of the problem, let's introduce the cheat code. This is the solution designed to bridge all those gaps.
So what is n8n? First off, it's pronounced n8, and it's a super powerful workflow automation tool. Just think of it like digital glue that connects all of your applications together. It lets you create these multi-step automations and even AI agents, all using a visual interface. And because it's open source, you have complete control. You can even host it yourself for ultimate privacy.
And this chart just illustrates the difference perfectly. On one side, you've got traditional coding. Yeah, it's powerful, but it's slow, complex, and totally inaccessible for most people. But on the other side, you have n8n. It gives you the raw flexibility of code, but wraps it in a visual, node-based editor that makes building, and more importantly, maintaining complex automations incredibly fast and intuitive.
Okay, let's get into the mechanics. How does an n8n automation, or as they call it, a workflow, actually get things done?
Every single workflow follows this same logical path. It all starts with a trigger. That's the event that kicks the whole thing off. Then you have a series of nodes that perform individual actions. Data flows between these nodes, the workflow runs its logic, and boom, you get an output.
Let's break that down. The trigger is really just the spark. It could be something time-based, like, hey, run this report every single morning, or it could be event-based, like a new customer signing up, which immediately sends a signal to a special webhook URL to start the automation. And the nodes, well, those are your action steps. Each node does one job, and it does that one job really, really well. For example, one node might grab data from an RSS feed, the very next node could use AI to summarize that data, and a final node could post that neat little summary right into your Discord server. You just chain these simple actions together to create some seriously powerful automation.
Now, what's really cool is how all this information moves around. Data flows from one node to the next in a structured format called JSON. But don't let that name scare you. The visual editor lets you just drag the output from one step, say an article's title, and drop it right into an input field for the next step, like into a message template. It's that easy. If this is making sense so far, give the video a quick like.
All right, so that's the theory, but what does this actually look like in practice? Let's walk through 3 different real-world examples. We're going to check out a typical business process, then a cool content aggregation workflow, and finish up with a really smart, personalized internal assistant.
First up, let's imagine a classic business workflow. Let's say a customer submits a new review through an online form.
So, the workflow gets triggered the second that form is submitted. Instantly, an AI node jumps in, summarizes the entire review, and then a Slack node zaps that summary right into the #reviews channel. Just like that. No more manual copy-pasting, and the team gets real-time, easy-to-digest feedback.
Okay, next, let's talk about integrating a bunch of different SaaS tools. Instead of having to check 5 different websites every morning for news, what if you could just build your own personal aggregator?
This workflow runs like clockwork on a schedule. It pulls in content from the RSS feeds of your favorite blogs and YouTube channels, uses AI to summarize each one, and then sends you a single, clean message with everything you need to know for the day. Pretty cool, right?
And for our last example, let's build something truly intelligent. This goes way beyond simple automation. We're talking about an AI agent that can actually reason and make decisions for you.
So get this, every morning, this agent wakes up and checks your calendar. If it sees you've scheduled a trail run, it goes out and gets the weather forecast, consults your personal list of trails that you keep in a Google Sheet, and then emails you a recommendation for the best trail to run on that day. This is an agent that thinks, it remembers, and it acts on your behalf. This is where most automation setups fail. You know, building a basic workflow is pretty easy. But building robust, reliable workflows that don't break, well, that means you have to avoid a few common traps.
Okay, pro tip number 1. Don't build these massive, complicated spaghetti workflows. Break them down into smaller, more manageable sub-workflows. Second, and this is a big one, always include error handling. APIs go down, data formats change, your workflow needs to know what to do when things go wrong. And finally, please, never paste your API keys directly into a node. Use n8n's built-in encrypted credential manager to keep them safe and sound. So let's recap the crucial points here. n8n is a powerful visual tool that connects all your apps and helps you automate away all that boring, repetitive work. The whole system is built around 2 key ideas: triggers to kick things off and nodes to do the actual work. By understanding how data flows between these nodes and, most importantly, planning for errors, you can build incredibly scalable and reliable automation systems. Everything from a simple alert to a sophisticated AI agent. This isn't just about theory, right? It's about actually applying it. In the next video, we're going to build a simple automation workflow from scratch using n8n. If you like this content and you learned something from us, please subscribe to this channel for more updates, like this video, and share this video on all your social networks.